So fucking cool. I was able to secure early fucking screening tickets to the Batman, plus tickets on the day of when it is released, and I could not be more fucking excited. Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on the channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And welcome to episode 23 of Coffee and Toys, guys, here on the CoolFigurez channel. It is not too heavy on news, I have to admit. There is very little news. However, I am in a great mood. I am excited for this week's episode, and I hope you guys are too. So, with that being said, before we get into everything, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you stay notified when I do upload new content. And if you do enjoy this video or any other videos that I put out, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It is free and easy for you to do, and it really helps the channel grow. With all that out of the way, guys, once again, welcome to episode 23 of Coffee and Toys here on the CoolFigurez channel. And like I said, there is not too much news. In fact, there's only really news from two different franchises that we really talk about here on the channel, and one that's a little bit of news, but it's more of like news to come, but it's like a tease of the news to come. So nothing really in terms of product releases or showings in terms of that, but we still have quite a bit to get through. Why don't we go ahead and start off with this week's Coffee and Toys live that unfortunately did not go down as smoothly as I wanted it to, or as they have in the past. In fact, it didn't go down at all. So why don't we go ahead and talk about that right now. So I was super excited to talk to this week's special guest on Coffee and Toys Live, Scott Niklick of the Spectre Creative YouTube channel. If you don't know who he is, he has 25 plus years of experience behind the scenes in the toy industry, meaning he worked on creating toys, toy packaging, and all sorts of stuff, especially for adult collectors, especially in the sense of Matty Collector. He was one of those people that first started that. He was there at the ground floor. He helped do some stuff for He-Man and Masters of the Universe, and then he went off to Jada and I think Spin Master, if I'm not mistaken. So he has a lot of knowledge and experience, guys, that I was really excited and looking forward to you guys getting to hear about and experience if you don't know who he is, if you haven't checked out his YouTube yet, because he has quite a lot of information. In fact, I was already going to tell him we were going to have to do another Coffee and Toys Live if he was willing to, because he was only available for an hour, and I was really going to be asking him so many questions. I don't even think we would have gone through all the questions I had for him unless we really sped through it. I was already planning on asking him to schedule a second Coffee and Toys Live, but we had to reschedule this one. So what exactly happened? Actually a multitude of things, guys. So miscommunication on my part. I didn't realize that I had to be more specific when telling people about Instagram Live, because I really didn't realize that was necessary until I realized that I probably should have looked into whether or not Instagram Live works on all devices, because when I did, it only works on mobile devices, and I know a bunch of you are probably like, yeah, I know shit, Sherlock, but I didn't know. So unfortunately there was a miscommunication. He was trying to use a desktop to go live, and I was trying to use a mobile device, on Instagram. He's used to going live on YouTube, and I'm used to going live on Instagram, whereas YouTube, you can use a mobile device or a desktop, whereas Instagram, you can only use a mobile device. So I did email him, and we are in the works of rescheduling. I believe if all goes as planned, he should be rescheduled at the end of March, after I will have Sir Dork, and we will talk about the upcoming guests. Definitely, I gave a little bit of an update when I went live, because I didn't want to waste the time, the day, and it honestly takes me a while to set up my stuff, guys. I'm not gonna lie, because this is my room, so I technically bring this table in every time I need to do a podcast or a live filming, and so it takes a lot of time and effort and energy. I gotta set up the lights. It's hot in here sometimes. I have the AC, or not the AC, but my fan going, and so I didn't want to waste it. And plus, I always like to engage with you guys, and so I went ahead and gave you guys a quick update on the channel on Coffee and Toys Live. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, I do have that posted over on my Instagram, so go ahead and check that out now. But yeah, I'm in the works of rescheduling him, so hopefully by the end of March. But unfortunately, guys, there will be no Coffee and Toys Live this coming week. I say no, but I may do an impromptu kind of random one, but it may only be about 20 minutes at the most, because Wednesday will unfortunately be my last day on the beautiful island of Maui, and so I will definitely be busy trying to get in as much as I can before I jump on a plane later that evening. And so I don't know, if I have some free time in the morning and have a cup of coffee, I may just jump on and say what's up, guys, and see what's going on and whatnot, but we'll see. I'm not going to hold myself to anything, being on vacation and whatnot. So schedule wise, no show this Wednesday, and following Wednesday, I am super excited because I will be having my first toy industry guest on the show, and it is going to be Diamond Select's marketing manager, Zack Oate. So I think on my story I'll post a question thing where you can ask questions and whatnot, and you guys can send me your questions. That way I can ask him some stuff if you guys want. So I'm super excited to talk to him. Like I said, he's gonna be my first current working toy person on the show, which is gonna be really excited. Scott would have been my first experienced, but he's no longer in that. He has his own business, kind of like telling people how to make toys better, but he's gonna be my first ever person on the show that's actually working currently in the toy industry. So I'm super excited to talk to him. In fact, I absolutely love Diamond Select. Not only their figures from their Marvel Select, their Star Wars figures, their John Wick, their Bruce Lee, which is actually better than the Super 7, but also their statues, guys. Most of my statues that I have are Diamond Select, and I absolutely love them. Everything up here minus the Master Chief is a Diamond Select statue. So you got Mando, you got Batman zombified in Frieza's suit. I know that's a lot to take in right now, but essentially there is a mini series called Deceased, in which Darkseid actually solves the anti-life equation, but he solves it the wrong way, and so it becomes an all-killing equation instead of him being able to control people's minds. And so it travels through technology too, through the internet. So, and obviously everybody has a phone, and so his stuff was safe because Batman, he does a bunch of shit to be behind everybody and whatnot, but he was affected, and he found out that if he slowed his blood and his heart rate, he would be able to last longer as Batman before he changed. And so he threw on Frieza's suit to kind of cool down his core temperature and keep him at a cold rate, and it lasted long enough for him to come up with an antidote and some stuff for him to pass on to Damian Wayne, unfortunately. And spoilers alert, but Alfred took a shotgun to the back of Batman's head, and that was the end of Batman. So, but yeah, guys, that's why he's in Frieza's suit all zombified, for that reason. But I absolutely love it for that reason, because it's such a unique variant of Batman for me, such a unique storyline that I just couldn't say no. And then right next to him, I do, of course, have Bane. And I do have multiple ones scattered across my room. I have Ben Affleck's Batman. I have a comic Batman, Daredevil, a classic comics Batman, Heath Ledger's Joker. Trying to see if there's any other ones that I have. Oh, I have an Iron Spider from Endgame or Infinity War, I believe. It's one of those two movies. And I believe that is it in terms of statues. But yeah, so I am super excited to talk to him about all of that. Like I said, I also have a few John Wick figures by them. I have a Bruce Lee figure. I also have all the Star Wars figures that they've released so far, which I absolutely love. And I have a Spider-Man and a Hulk, and I believe a Daredevil from their Marvel Select. Oh, and also a Green Goblin holding Spider-Man with a rope and everything. I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff ready on my table to show and talk about during that interview, so don't worry, I'll probably have that one down here because that's one of my favorite. It's literally a scene from a comic, and that was recreated in the 90s cartoon, and when I saw it, I was just like, bye now. So yeah, super excited to talk to him. The week after that, I will have Ghost by Ghost. Now, something a little different, but not too different because it is a clothing company. However, the reason I am bringing them on is because they recently announced a collaboration with my favorite toy company, Mezco Toys. So they're going to come on, they're going to talk, and it turns out he's actually an ex-sideshow worker and pretty high up. I think he said marketing or director or something like that. I'll have to look back at the email, but super excited to talk to him about all that, and of course his collaboration with Mezco Toys, because I absolutely love Mezco Toys. I absolutely love Rumble Society. I love the t-shirts we get in those box sets, even though it drives up the price a bit, and to be able to purchase them whenever on a website or just how they do it, I'll be really happy to do that and get some more designs and whatnot, because I only have 2 at the moment. So the week after that, I believe, is 1/6 Shooter. So super excited to talk to him. Always excited to talk to the toy photographer, because that's what I do, and I learn so much. I get to ask him all the questions that I have, and I get to learn a lot, like I said. So super excited for that, and honestly really looking forward to talking to him. He takes some amazing pictures. So yeah, next up after him would be Sir Dork, I believe. Yes, I believe we have Sir Dork after 1/6 Shooter, and we are going to be talking to his new toy photography con, which he will be holding in June in New York. So super excited to talk about that, because what did I just say about toy photography? I love it, and that's what I do, and now we're going to have our own con, and like I keep saying, I feel like it's going to blow up in the next year or two. This one, I feel like it's going to be good. It's going to be what they want, plus a little bit more, and then everything's going to blow up the following year, because everybody that goes there is going to be a photographer. It's a toy photography con, so a lot of footage and content is going to be put out on the internet, and I think a lot of people are going to see how fun it is, how great it is, how much people can learn, and next year they're going to have to look at getting another venue because they're going to have to size up. So I'm really hoping that's the case, and eventually they do a West Coast toy photography con. We'll have to wait and see, because like I said, this is the first one that they're putting on, so let's even see what exactly is the scope. Like I said, we'll talk to Sir Dork all about that the week before the 23rd of March, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember. I don't have my calendar on me, so I'm trying to remember all this stuff off the top of my head, and I'm failing miserably, but I did remember all the hosts so far. And the week after Sir Dork would hopefully be the week where we reschedule Spectre Creative Scott Niklick, so we can talk to him and get some background and information on toys. So that's a little update on Coffee and Toys. Like I said, the update is up on my Instagram. I don't think I'm going to put it at the end of this podcast, because I basically just told you everything that I said in that update, and that just leaves more editing and work for me to do later on. So future Jesse, I got you. With that being said, I mean, I'm in a great fucking mood because I was able to secure early fucking screening tickets to the Batman, plus tickets on the day of when it is released, and I could not be more fucking excited, guys. Oh my god, I feel like it should be coming out next week. I hate that we have to pre-order tickets so fucking far in advance, because when I bought them, I was like, I'm going this week, and then I was like, wait, I still have a fucking month. I gotta wait. The good thing is, at least this next week will go by a little easier in terms of waiting, because I will definitely be enjoying my time out in Maui. By the way, actually, if you're watching this on the day it drops, I'm already on the road to Hana, so I am definitely on my way to enjoying my vacation there on Maui, because that was such a beautiful drive. If you don't know what the road to Hana is, I'll go ahead and insert some clips right here. It's essentially just a long, windy road into the mountains of Maui. You see a bunch of greenery, you get some waterfalls, some beautiful views. And it all leads up to a black sand beach. There's a red sand beach. There is so much to look at, to do. They say to split it up into multiple days, or you can do it all day. When I went in October, we did it in one day, but we were up at like 3 a.m. and we didn't get back till like almost, I think, 11. So it was definitely a long day, but definitely worth it. And I recommend you going and taking the road to Hana if you ever get a chance to visit the beautiful island of Maui, guys. So yeah, I am super looking forward to that. In fact, like I said, if you're watching this the day it airs or the week of, I'm there already, so super excited. But you know, I do miss my collection, and I do miss my boy Blue, so hopefully I don't miss him too much and I get home safe and soon. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and talk about this week's toy haul. As you can see, it's pretty decent, nothing too crazy. Right before I started filming, this arrived at my front door. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, I gotta be honest, because when I first purchased it, I specifically purchased it for the Master Chief from Halo 1, you know, because I don't have a version like that, and I thought it was really cool. However, in the time I had to wait for this was supposed to be released in November of 2021. Since then, I have actually, let me see, purchased and gotten a way better version in the form of the 1000 Toys Master Chief. So that's why I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to keep him, because as much as I love it, I just don't know if I need another one like that, because if I'm going to be doing photography, it's going to be with this guy, and that means I don't need this tool, which means it can go back, because that's how we're starting to look at stuff. And yeah, honestly, I mean, obviously there's a price difference. There's a major price difference. This is a $20 figure. Well, the pack itself, I believe, was actually $45 or $50. So this is more like a $25 figure, because there's two. And this one alone, I paid $100, but it's actually $120 retail, but sold out everywhere. I found it on offer for $100, and I couldn't resist. And I'm so glad I bought him, because he is definitely the definitive Master Chief for Halo Evolved. And I recently picked up the Halo Infinite, which is definitely the definitive Master Chief on this end. So I'm just like, I don't fucking need you. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna return that. I'm not even gonna open it, unfortunately. I'm sorry, guys. That means no unboxing this week, because I was debating whether or not I was gonna open it, and I just made up my mind that I'm not. So instead, I'm gonna put this guy here in his place, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull the other Master Chief that I have right here and put him in his place, because these ones are by far the better versions. I mean, obviously I paid way more for them, but they just look so much better. They articulate so much better. They photograph so much better. There's so much more I can say about them and want to say, but you know what? I'll just be here rambling and ranting about him all day. So why don't I just go ahead and put his pistol in and move on? Why don't we go ahead and talk about the other two pack that I got this week, which is the TMNT and Power Rangers crossover Lightning Collection figures. So this week I got in April O'Neil as the Pink Ranger and Mikey as the Yellow Ranger. So super excited for this line, guys. I have already done Raphael and Tommy as the Foot Soldier, and Raphael as the Red Ranger. So yeah, these guys came in, and I am now halfway done with completing this set and this team of Power Rangers. Just missing, obviously, Leonardo and Donatello, and Shredder, obviously. So looking forward to that Shredder a lot. But until then, my boy Mikey's here, and I know his larger Funko counterpart is not here, but I totally forgot to put him here, and I sat down and I was ready to film, and I was like, I'm not gonna get out of this thing, because like I said, this is my room. I put this table, and I have to climb over some stuff to get behind it, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm sitting, I'm here, it's done. So yeah, super awesome, super excited. Their review will be out next week, I believe on Monday or Tuesday, I'm not really sure, because next up we do have a Batman figure. Of course, when don't I have a Batman figure on here? And it is the Mcfarland Toys Target exclusive gold label Hazmat Batsuit. So what makes it a gold label? Well, the weathering coloring on the armor, on the arms and on the legs, as well as the light up chest piece. Super cool. I absolutely love that, and obviously the gold on the belt. So yeah, I love this guy, honestly, and the light is super bright compared to most figures that come with like somewhat dim ones. I feel like he just shoved a bright LED in there, and it's perfect. And it's ran by 3 watch batteries, so hopefully it lasts quite a long time. So yeah, that's about it when it comes to this week's toy haul. Like I said, stuff's going to be slowing down. Pretty much just pre-orders are going to be, what I'm going to be getting in at this point. I'm not really too excited about stuff that's being thrown out in stores that we are just getting now. The only exception being some stuff that we are going to talk about later on in the news. The only real reason we're talking about them in the news is because there wasn't too much news to begin with. So I was like, we'll throw these in there. But yeah, in terms of Mcfarland Toys, I'm really starting to step back. I'm really just going to be putting my money towards Mezco at this point. There's really no point in buying, basics toys at this point. You're going to get more for your money if you spend the extra $30-$40 on an SH Figuarts versus a Black Series. If you're army building, I'd say go with the AliExpress, the knockoffs. I've heard they're just as good, if not better. So there's ways around it, and Hasbro's going to learn that their bullshit ain't going to run. It's, we're going to get ways around it, find ways around things, and hopefully change things, because these prices are getting outrageous, guys. It's outrageous. I'm willing to pay those prices for, premium figures, but not for these guys, these basic. I mean, these are special because they're based off a mini series of a crossover between the Power Ranger universe and the Tmnt universe. So that's different. It's a very small niche thing, and I absolutely love that comic run. I read it, I have it, and so when they announced it, I was just blown away that they even announced figures from that, that miniseries. I just never thought in a million years that they would even make figures from that comic run. So when they announced it, I was just blown away and happy, and super excited to complete the team. But other than that, guys, I'm trying to think if I have anything else coming in. I shouldn't at the moment. Well, I am waiting for Nosferatu from Mezco Toys. So when that comes in, he'll be up here on the table. But until then, I don't think I have really anything coming in, or really anything that I'm looking for currently. I'm pretty caught up on anything and everything that I need. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and move on into this week's toy news, because I'm rambling and stuff like I have all fucking day and weekend, but in fact I still have to get my ass to the gym, train, and finish packing and doing some stuff, and get ready to leave. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and move on into this week's toy news, starting off with, of course, my favorite toy company, Mezco Toys. So no new releases, thankfully, because my wallet is still fucking bleeding out from the last release that they had, and it's on life support. I'm like pumping, I'm pumping its chest, and like blood's just squirting out, and I'm just like plugging each hole, pump. So but they did announce that Mezcon 2020, I think summer Mezcon 2020 details will be announced soon, and that's what I was referring to earlier when I said that it wasn't really toy news, but it was like a tease of news to come. So prepare, guys, prepare your wallets. I'm patching mine up as we speak, and this trip to Hawaii isn't helping, but I'm definitely going to be enjoying it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to Mcfarland Toys, guys. I don't love them anymore, but they do put out some crazy good stuff from time to time, and this year is looking like it's definitely going to be in that area. So they did announce their Arkham Knight, which motherfucker, fucking Todd, every time I say I'm out, he has to go and release a badass fucking character like this, and then he's gonna release a few fucks, and then he's gonna release a badass fucking character to reel me back in. But it is what it is. I am super happy to finally get an Arkham Knight. Like I always say, I was not collecting during the time that the Arkham series was running, so I have none of those figures, unfortunately, because those ones did look amazing and great. I don't know how the articulation is, though, so maybe they weren't as great in that realm, but it would have still been cool to have those figures from back then. So we'll see how that goes. I think it's scheduled for May 2022, so we'll see. I'll sure it's going to be plentiful. Most of these McFarlane figures are now plentiful. You know, distribution for them are pretty decent. I have to admit, I have to give them that one. So next up, the last thing that I do have for McFarland Toys is that Death of the Family Joker was solicited for pre-order, I believe, or unless the pre-order stuff went up but it wasn't available, something like that. But yeah, if you need Joker from there, like I said, if I see him in stores, I'll probably pick him up, because I do like Joker, and that one does look pretty cool. I think the only Joker I haven't picked up from McFarlane has been the Rebirth one, and that one just looked really bad. So that goes to show, when I don't pick up a Batman and I don't pick up a Joker, you really fucked up, Todd. I'm just saying. But next up, why don't we go ahead and move on to the final set of news that I have here for the final franchise, which is Star Wars. So no real news to say, because they've already shown us these figures previously, but I guess now they're up for pre-order in places and they're out everywhere to find, or out in fall 2022. But people are finding them now in Target. So Wave 31 with Ahsoka from The Mandalorian, Omega from The Bad Batch, Tech from The Bad Batch, the Client from The Mandalorian, and the Death Watch Mandalorian from The Mandalorian are all now up for pre-order all over the place, as well as hitting Target stores now apparently. So hit your local Target, find them if you can. But yeah, apparently they're supposed to come out, you know, I think actually 2023, if I'm not mistaken. The pre-order said 2023, but people are finding them now in Target. So I don't know if they're telling us these far, you know, release dates, because in like the case of the 2-pack of the Master Chiefs, it was supposed to release in November of 2021, and I literally just got it today of 2022. You know, I don't know if that's why they're doing that, so that way they can, you know, say, oh look, we got it for you sooner, so you guys should be happier. But I don't know what their thinking behind it is, but hopefully we'll get them sooner. But like I said, they are starting to hit Targets now. People are finding them. There are reviews. I believe Yakface found them all, so they're out there. So next up, let's talk about the incoming archive wave. And I don't know what Hasbro's infatuation with fucking Billy D. Williams is, but they fucking love him, because they give us a fucking Lando in every fucking wave, and in every fucking wave it fucking pegworms. You walk into a Target, there's Lando. You walk into a Walmart, there's Lando. You walk into another Target, there's fucking Lando. You walk into another Walmart, there's Lando, and Lando from the last wave, and then there's a Lando in the vintage collection. It's like, fuck. Billy D. Williams was cool back then in the 80s, don't get me wrong. He was Colt 45 man, don't get me wrong, but it's 2022. No one gives a fuck about that anymore. Carl Weathers is more, you know, well known at this point because of The Mandalorian, and even his figures pegworm. You know, I think Star Wars needs to avoid the human figures aside from the absolute main characters, because even in this new wave, I feel like the Client is going to pegworm, aside from people picking him up specifically for his accessories, because he comes with the tracking beacon, he comes with some Beskar pieces, and he comes with that thing to hold the Beskar, which is essentially what we got with that Mando Grogu Deluxe Target exclusive pack, plus the canteen thing. You know, they didn't come with that, but without having to pay those prices. And if you already have a Mando and a Grogu, you don't have to get a double. You get a new figure. You know, whether or not you want it, you can just throw them in the background, blah, blah, blah. But at least you get the accessories and a new figure, opposed to having to buy another Mando and Grogu when you already have one just for those fucking accessories. So I feel like he's going to definitely pegworm after the first initial wave of people that buy him for those accessories is done. Ahsoka's definitely going to fly off the shelves. I feel like Omega is definitely going to sit on the shelves. Tech is going to fly off. The Death Watch Mandalorians are going to fly off the shelves. Lando's still going to be there from the previous wave and the wave before that. So now we're going to have Archive Skiff Lando sitting there clogging the pegs as well. Hooray. So the next person they did announce in the Archive collection is Emperor Palpatine. Unfortunately, he does not come with the 2 head sculpts that the Amazon exclusive came with, and obviously he did not come with the throne chair, as that was a deluxe exclusive figure. And I am still kicking myself in the ass for not picking it up when it was $25 on Amazon back in the day. I am still fucking kicking myself to this day. But I digress. I have no need or want for this figure. As much as I am a fan of Star Wars, I'm not in the mentality of, oh, you're a fan of Star Wars, you have to have all the main characters. I don't have a Han Solo. I don't have a Chewbacca. I don't have a Princess Leia. I love those characters, but I don't have them in action figure form. I just buy what's cool. Just because it's a main character doesn't mean I have to buy it, I mean, I have 2 Zeros. He's not a main character, but he looks fucking cool, so I have 2 of them. I have a bunch of clones. I have a bunch of Mandalorians. That's what I like, so I don't know. That's just me personally, so I don't need a Palpatine. I have a Vader. I don't need Palpatine. What do I need an old guy in a chair for? It's the same mentality when, NECA was releasing Danny Pennington in those Loot Crate boxes. It's like, the fuck do I need a Danny Pennington for? All he does is mope around and steal wallets the whole movie, so it's like, I don't need a Danny Pennington. Although, I may be able to get one for a decent deal from the guy that I was able to get that NECA Phantom figure from last week's toy haul. For cheap, so if I can get him for cheap under retail or what he's going for on eBay and all that, I may just pick him up just to pick him up and have him, and yeah, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I don't need a Palpatine to just sit around and do absolutely nothing, or at this point he can't even sit around and do nothing because he doesn't come with a throne. He's gonna just lean on his cane. So yeah, he's the second one. Next up, we are getting Dengar, another figure that I give absolutely no fucks for because he just looks like an old guy with like a fucked up head, like he just got out of fucking filming a scene from Jackass and he just walked out of the ER, and it's like, okay. Even his gun looks like a fucking crutch. I don't get the fascination behind Dengar. I mean, I understand in the comics and everything he's cool and everything, but for me, it's all about looks, and he looks like an old guy that was on the set of Jackass, that was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and somehow he's a bounty hunter in space now. I don't know how that math adds up, but you got Dengar. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to be happy because he is going for quite a bit on the third-party market, if I'm not mistaken. So that will be good for those people that want him. I'm saying all this stuff because it's my personal opinion. If you like Dengar, love Dengar, do you buy him, buy 3, buy 4, so that way when he goes up in price, you can sell one, you can sell 2, whatever you want. I don't care. I'm just saying, me personally, I give no fucks about Dengar. So another figure in the archive wave that I will definitely not be wasting my money on. So that's 3 for 3 that I will not be picking up. And we'll go for a clean sweep with C-3PO rounding out the 4th guy. So I have absolutely no want or need for C-3PO or R2-D2 or any other non-battle droids in my collection. So yeah, that will be an easy pass for me on that whole wave. So whenever it does come, they did have a few vintage collection announcements. They said Anakin from episode 2 and the Mandalorian Commando are going to be coming to the line. But I don't really do vintage collection. And then they did have one Gaming Greats announcement, which was the species that looks like Darth Maul, but he's like an archer and stuff. He has like the bow and arrow from Omega and the body from the shirtless Darth Maul. So reuse from a game that I started and haven't finished. Yeah, that's another easy pass for me. So something that did catch my eye, unfortunately, like I said, I don't collect vintage, was the Jobless Palace playset that they are releasing. However, when I saw that 300, what was it? It was a $300 price point, isn't it? It's like 300 or 350 price point. I was definitely happy I was out. Although now that I am seeing the Razor Crest arrive at people's doorsteps and in photographs, I am definitely kicking myself in the ass for not pre-ordering that, when it was available. But like I said, I don't do vintage collection, although I wouldn't have to because I have plenty of 3 3/4 inch figures from my childhood, and I could definitely just use those in that. But that thing is just giant and super crazy and expensive. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm glad I passed, because honestly, I don't even have a diode that would fit it. And that is just, as beautiful as it is and as happy as you should be if you got it, that is just way too massive and big for me. Just like that Jabba's barge, as much as I would love to have those pieces in my collection, they'll just huge. Oh man, those things are fucking huge, but beautiful. I've been seeing pictures, and man, the detailing, the paint, I gotta give Hasbro that one. So yeah, guys, with that being said, that rounds up the news for this week. Like I said, not too much toy news. I feel like delays, Chinese New Year's, everything's still kind of like slowing things down. I feel like a lot of stuff will kick into gear once people come back from Chinese New Year, and also a lot of these blockbuster movies get released. The Batman being the first of many this year, so super excited. Yeah, guys, with that being said, that's been episode 23 of Coffee and Toys. Like I said, not a lot of news, decent toy haul, and I'm in a great fucking mood because, like I said, I got early screening tickets to the Batman. I got day of release screening tickets to Batman, and of course, I am probably chilling on a beautiful, beautiful black sand beach right now. So sorry, guys, I was thinking about that. So anyways, guys, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me for the episode 23 of Coffee and Toys. Like I said, I am so sorry that Coffee and Toys Live did not happen this week through technical difficulties and miscommunication. It just could not happen. But I do look forward to coming back in another week. Like I said, this coming week there probably won't be a show. Let's go for no show. But the following week, I am super excited to come back and speak to Diamond Select's marketing manager, Zack. The following week, we will be talking to Ghost by Ghost, a clothing company that has just announced a partnership with Mezco Toys, and the founder is a former toy employee at Sideshow and other toy companies. After that, we're going to be going ahead and talking to 1/6 Shooter, the great toy photographer. Super excited to talk to him. And the week after that, we will be talking to Sir Dork himself about his brand new toy photography con. And then after that, hopefully we can have Scott Niklick of Spectre Creative, who we were supposed to have this week, on the episode of Coffee and Toys Live that week. So we'll look forward to that. I'll keep you guys in the loop and updated. But until then, guys, once again, thank you so much to each and every single one of you that have hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me because, like I always say, if it wasn't for you guys, I'd just be a grown man talking to myself about toys. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a great week. I have plenty of content for you guys lined up, so do not worry. The videos are already uploaded and ready to go. I just have to hit release. So there will still be plenty of content released throughout this week, so do not worry. And yeah, guys, with that being said, I've been your host, Jess the Bat Manager, aka the Buff Collector. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a great fucking day. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I do have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out if you like what you see. Leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys want to see the unboxing of any figures I do reviews on for this channel, go ahead and check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all my unboxings. And join me every Sunday morning for Coffee and Toys, a weekly toy news, toy talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, and so much more. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jess the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much to this channel sponsor, VRare Store. Check them out for all your Funko Pop, anime, Pokemon card, and toy print needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. VRare Store. Check them out, guys.